If you've got hip hop questions, I've got hip hop answers. Email me right now at d.podcast@gmail.com. That's d.podcast@gmail.com. And you will get your questions answered. That's normally how this Q&A thing works. Today's question comes from Nathan J. And Nathan says... Nathan apparently cleared his throat before he sent the email. Yo, D-Dot, I'd like to know what you think about this whole Nicki Minaj only video controversy with the Nazi imagery. Did she have knowledge about the video before it was put out? Is it a case of too many yes men? Is she a part of the Illuminati? What do you think? Thanks for the question, Nathan. The Nicki Minaj only video thing is interesting on a few levels. First of all, I want to say that I've only seen the video one time. I think maybe it's been taken down since then, but you only need to see it once. Basically, Nicki Minaj is depicted as some sort of Nazi overlord, and you would imagine why many people would find that offensive, especially in today's society. The director of the video, whose name is Jeff Osborne, has since he's tweeted that quote, Nicki would never condone Nazism in her art, end quote. So, this is implying, of course, that Nicki didn't have any knowledge of it, and Nicki denied knowing anything about the video before it was put out, which is something that I find very hard to believe. But maybe it's something to consider, because you guys will, you'll remember. I think around the time when Nicki was putting out, I forgot what single it was, where she had the Malcolm X, the famous Malcolm X picture with the with the rifle and everything, and she put that on the cover of the single, and that offended many people. So maybe there is a case of Nicki not seeing everything before it's put out, but I find it very hard to believe that a video. This was a textography lyric video. I find it very hard to believe that something that's going to be out there for public consumption for, fucking millions of people and nobody close to Nicki, because there's got to be somebody there that Nicki trusts just as much as she trusts herself. Nobody looked over it and said, yeah, this is fine. I green like this. You can put that in. I doubt it. So this might be a case of too many yes men, which is the downfall of so many people that do anything creatively at a high level. There's this idea in hip hop where an opinion is demonized because it's always confused as negative. If it's an opposing opinion, if it's something that people want to hear, then they're okay with it. And trust me, no one knows this better than a music reviewer. No one knows better about the idea of having an opinion and people thinking that you hate the person simply because you just don't agree. I think it was Common who once said, if I didn't like it, I didn't like it. It don't mean that I'm hating. You feel me, dog? So it don't mean that I'm hating. It's just an opinion, and I'm not attached to it or anything like that. It's just something that I had to say at the time. So there's that downfall of too many yes men. And people that probably saw the video and said, yeah, well, this is fine. Let's put that through. Another thing to consider is, if they did see it, why would they approve it? Because it doesn't appeal to Nicki Minaj's brand. It's not like you've got Nicki Minaj fans sitting at home and watching the video and saying, okay, all right, so this is a totalitarian setting. Okay, displaying some images of the Fourth Reich. Okay, I get that. All right, so she's some sort of an overlord. Okay, maybe this is a statement of how our society currently is. No one's sitting home, well, no Nicki Minaj fan is sitting at home and saying that. So on one level, you've got the fact that even a retarded person could see why people would find this offensive. And on the other side, Nicki Minaj fans aren't people who crave brain food. They don't crave music that has something to say. which is what made this funny that the director, that Osborne said that he wanted to make a statement about a totalitarian society. Well, this is the wrong project to do that with, sir. You've got an artist like Nicki Minaj. You've got an artist like Drake. You've got Chris Brown, who's fucking slapping females left and right. I know that's old news, but I just wanted to say that. And Lil Wayne, who is a toilet. Just a toilet. I don't have to compartmentalize him into being a hip hop. He is a toilet. That's physically what Lil Wayne is. I'm joking. There's nothing to say here. These artists never have anything to say. So it doesn't correlate with any of their brands, sir. It has nothing to do with anything. If this was a video done for, say, a Lupe Fiasco, this wouldn't be controversial. It would just be the type of stuff that Lupe is doing, and this wouldn't make any news. So maybe Osborne is sort of a genius in that sense because he knows it would get an uproar out of people because it's a Nicki Minaj video. Another thing that I'd like to address in your question, Nathan, is that you asked, is she a part of the Illuminati? Now, I have told you guys about what I think about the whole hip-hop Illuminati thing. I think I did it about 2.5 years ago. Some of my opinions have changed as I've been doing this YouTube channel. Many of them haven't. And this is a part of the many, as far as how I feel about that whole idea. Because let's assume this. Let's assume that you're right about everything. Let's assume that, let's create a scenario. Nicki Minaj pissed one of the powers that be off. She pissed someone off within the hierarchy. And now they said, you must take this PR storm, and this is how you're going to take it. You've got to take this hit now because you disrespected somebody within the organization, and now you have to pay. If you're right about all this Illuminati shit, how does it in any way, shape, or form serve you? How does it enhance your life? Best case scenario, there's people out there that are trying to control your life. You're right. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, no. These artists are here because they're here. And that's sort of just the level that everyone is on. So whatever you're seeking is seeking you. Rest assured that if you continue to have these opinions that this is what these artists are here for, you're going to believe it no matter what. So stay calm and read your hip-hop Illuminati blogs. Listen to your hip-hop Illuminati YouTubers who continue to tell you that the Eye of Horus is you can find it on Drake's dick hole. He's got a tattoo of the Eye of Horus there. I know that was a bad image. I apologize about that, guys. I don't know where I was going with that. As a music commentator, it doesn't serve me to attach myself to any of that thinking. Because if I believe that these artists are figureheads in some greater plan to distract the masses away from the important issues, then I take this too personal. This doesn't become music opinions anymore. This becomes defense. This becomes my way to fight against the status quo and against those artists who are here out of some ulterior motive. This can't become personal. I have to remain indifferent to everything so I can give you guys a quality opinion of, my observations about what I think. And I understand that a lot of this internet stuff is people want to remove the veil on obscurity and say, check this out. This is what I think. Here's this guy on YouTube and he's going to expose the stuff that Beyonce did in a recent 7-Eleven video, and why it was like Illuminati imagery. I understand the appeal of that, but I won't take part in it because it doesn't serve me and it doesn't serve the relationship that you and I have. But back to the Nicki Minaj video. For a video that starts off with a line like, I didn't fuck Wayne, I didn't fuck Drake, something, something cupcake, it's very laughable that there would be some social commentary within that record, I think. And by the way, no one cares about that, Nicki. No one is creating that conversation other than you. You're the one that's concerned about this. No one's questioning your merits on that level. My only complaint against Nicki Minaj is just her empowerment through sexuality. But we understand that she has talent. Well, at least I think she has talent. So nobody's questioning whether you got to this level of success because you had sex with your Young Money contemporaries. That's you creating that conversation. Nobody cares. But I will say that most of me believes that she knew about this beforehand. But it's just another example of having people in your circle, in a small circle, because my assumption is the higher you get, the least amount of people you trust. That's just the cynical viewpoint of how the world makes people. Because when they get to a certain level, all of a sudden, people's opinions, there's something attached to them. He's saying this because he wants X. He's saying Y because he wants Z. So she's probably got a handful of people that she quote unquote trusts. And they say, yeah, I think this is a good move. Go ahead and do it. People stand too much to lose when they're with you on a level like that. They're walking on eggshells. You hold their financial future in the palm of your hand. So if you tell them that this isn't the best move for them, well, that can be confused as hating. You're being negative. Keep your negative opinions out of my face. I want positivity. We all need to understand the concept of what a positive person and what a negative person is. Everybody thinks that a positive person is someone who just walks around and shows you all their fucking teeth like they just had plastic surgery and they're so happy and they just, But in reality, it's very different. And when situations like this happen, it's just yet another reminder of small circles and too much of an emphasis on positivity and keeping it around you. Because when you're trying so hard, when you're trying so hard to hold, this tail feather up, when you're trying to be something that you're not, it's going to bite you in the ass. And it bit her in the ass this time around, as it bit her, with the whole Malcolm X thing. But I don't think that Nicki Minaj is part of the Illuminati, or rather, I don't care. That's what I'd like to say. Because whether you're right or you're wrong, it doesn't serve you in any way, shape, or form. If you've got hip-hop questions, I've got hip-hop answers. Email me right now at d.podcast@gmail.com. That's d.podcast@gmail.com. And I will see you fucks next week.